Alright, it looks like we already have somebody in the room, right? What's going on, Zoe? How you been doing tonight? You been doing okay? You guess? Life being a little bit frustrating for you right now? Or are you just tired? Alright, hold on one moment. I gotta do my battery real quick. I forgot. Stupid phone. Oh boy. Sorry about that. I forgot this thing runs dead all the time. You still with me, Zoe? I just have to boost my juice. Stupid plug. Alright, we got juice now. Miranda. What's going on, Miranda? I don't think I met you, but I wouldn't know, would I? Because you'd be under Zoe. So anyway, I'm hoping I can get some of my fans in here because I don't know if I'm going to do an hour broadcast. I have a few announcements to make, and when you get excited about something, you think you can talk about it for an hour, but so far it's been really hard for me to get more than 4 or 5 viewers in here, and I'm trying to shut my mouth about it, but I guess the bigger broadcasters, have done a lot of work, and now I'm getting to the point where I am about to try and get some help, so I can get a bigger show going on. So what I've done so far is I've got some fairly big guests coming on soon. I don't want to announce who they are yet because I want to make sure everything's set for the time and that they're going to actually do it. But it looks pretty good. And I sent out I don't know, 5 or 6 requests, maybe even 10 requests, and I got 2 back already. You know what? I'm working on trying to see if Jacqueline Glenn will do some sort of collaboration with me. But me and her have not really had discussion yet. She's got a big thing with her viewers in her broadcast. She did guest me once, so you can check that out on my page. I've tweeted her. She said she was interested in some of the things I had to say. So we'll see if we can get Jacqueline Glenn on here one time. Hopefully I can. Right now, the guest I'm working with, I have a writer who's a published writer. She writes on spirituality, and I believe she does have a degree in physics. So, not too many writers on spirituality have a degree in physics. And I think this is going to be an exciting show when I guest her, and I believe her response was that she does want to do it. So I just, most people use different programs like Google or Skype, so I have to just make sure that I have this set up so that one of these programs is going to work as far as getting my guest on YouNow, because I want to do a live event, and I'm not going to try and force my guests to download YouNow if they don't want to. We'll see how they want to do it. The second guest that I might have lined up has not said yes yet, but he hasn't said no. And I think if he's interested, then we might be able to get it done. So, have you ever heard of Fred Allen Wolf, the quantum physicist, who was in What the Bleep Do We Know? Okay, there's a documentary. That's okay. There's a documentary called What the Bleep Do We Know, and it's a very spiritual, very philosophical, but kind of funny show or movie or documentary. Anyway, Fred Allen Wolf is a quantum physicist who promotes science that is kind of on the edge, questions about the multiverse. He studied shamanism like me, so there's a lot of similarities between me and Fred Allen Wolf, except I don't have a PhD in quantum physics. Now, this guy is very busy, and I've only been able to correspond with him with one or two emails because he wanted me to buy his books. I don't want to pick on him for that, but I have not yet been able to get him. But there is a woman who writes books on spirituality, and she has a degree in physics. And I don't know if her degree is in quantum physics. I'm going to do some more research before I bring her on. But I've done an interview with her before, a written interview that was on my website before I did the new website. And she wants to do a live guest spot with me. So I'm almost certain that I'm going to get her on. And it's going to be really, really interesting conversation. The written interview I did was pretty interesting. So being able to have her live and knowing that she wants to, I'm going to try and make this really fun. Knowing that she wants to promote the ideas of being able to, basically the spirituality of being able to affect your own reality and justifying that with science. It's going to be damn interesting, I think. I was fairly excited when I did the written interview, but when you put a written interview up, you know, the people that read it, there's going to be a few people that read it or whatever, and if they don't know who you are, it's not going to spread too far. But if I can get a live broadcast with me and her live, I think I can stir things up quite a lot. Now, the other writer, he's also a writer. He's not a writer on spirituality. In fact, I believe he's an atheist. So I have quite a lot of variety to my show. Being a spiritual atheist, I'm going to be able to interview both spiritual people and atheists because I basically see both sides of it. So I might even question them about each other. I'm pretty sure I'm going to. I'm going to find a way to do it. Anyway, he's written books on physics, and I believe he's part of the new atheist movement. Like Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens is gone, but I don't know. Have you heard of the new atheist? I know you heard of Richard Dawkins. Lawrence Krauss. Okay. Yeah, so Cosmic Skeptic. I sent him a Twitter feed, and I'm going to keep sending him Twitter feeds without harassing him too much to try and get him to see me on his radar. Yeah, who hasn't heard of Richard Dawkins? And Cosmic Skeptic was able to do an interview with Lawrence Krauss, so I felt the energy that things were going to be moving, and I felt like that I could ride that train. For those people who are skeptical that you can create your own reality, I saw Cosmic Skeptic do it, and I'm nobody, and I don't have a big YouTube following like he now does, but he was an example of somebody who has mentioned several times how he did not expect for his YouTube to become that big, and he would hope and maybe dream about such, but he had not expected to be sitting doing an interview with Lawrence Krauss one day. So I'm sure when Jacqueline Glenn started, she wasn't expecting to be sitting down with Michael Shermer or Richard Dawkins and some of the other people she's done with. So when I saw Cosmic Skeptic do that with Lawrence Krauss, I just felt the same energy, and I wanted to ride that same energy. So, of course, I contacted my friend who I did an interview with before on being able to create your own reality, the spiritual writer I told you about. And she's a woman, so we're going to empower that, because most people, there's a lot of people in science and celebrities like Richard Dawkins, and it's just male, 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 male. And I really think that, we need to show the world, the other side of life, that women, we need to empower them. And there are women physicists and scientists and philosophers, and I'm going to bring them on. And this is going to be one of my first guests who's a woman and a writer who knows a lot about spirituality and I believe has a degree in physics. So I didn't get Fred Allen Wolf, I didn't get Lawrence Krauss, but I did get, I do believe I'm going to have a physicist that is on that level, and he is part of the new atheist movement. He's not as big as the others yet, but he is definitely a physicist. So fame or no fame, he knows what he's talking about. And I'm not going to reveal too much about who these people are yet because I want to have a date set. I want to have dates and times. I want to be able to announce it on my website and say, okay, they've announced it and they're going to do it. And then when they give me dates that they'll be able to do it, I want to be able to announce that. And then when they agree to time, I want to be able to put on the dates, okay, the times have been set and here's when the show's going to be on. So that's how we're going to do it. Um, I also have been reaching out to musicians and artists and comedians and things like that, and I've started to spread the word around North Carolina, or mostly around Raleigh, where I live, um, that I'm going to try and bring in some talent and try and lift people's spirits with music and art. And I want to bring music, art, philosophy, all the creative aspects of our mind and our hearts that have been neglected by society and has been oppressed and pushed down as not important. And I want to bring that to my show. Um, and at the same time, I'm emphasizing knowledge and science and all the things that people do sort of support anyway. At least they take it seriously. So I'm trying to bring it all together into one thing, and that's why I want to do this announcement tonight. Um, I don't think it's that late. I was kind of hoping um, that it. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I was kind of hoping, sitting there making an announcement. I know I haven't been doing a broadcast every day. Thank you. And I know a lot of the broadcasters like Vegan Cheetah have been doing broadcast, every day, and they got partnership already, so they got a huge amount of motivation, and they're already almost making a living at it. I don't know how well a living they're making at it, but I'm working. So I've been working 40 hours, and I've called in a lot trying to get my show. I've been not sleeping, and it's gone to the point where I want this show, and I want to help you. I want to connect with my fans. I want to do something real, and I'm tired of just working 8, 10 hours a day, whatever, at what I don't want to do. I do love helping my customers at the call center, but that's not. Oh, thank you so much for the 400 likes. I really appreciate that. Maybe we can get some people in here if we start liking it up like that. Um, if you have a way to invite friends, please do that. Maybe we can get people that way. And I have not been broadcasting every day because I've been trying to. I have had no format. There's no format to my show. I had no plans, no ideas. I would just get on camera, just trying to get over my shyness, trying to express everything I could get out of my heart or get out of my mind, and trying to excite people about it. And it sort of went well, and then it didn't, and it did. And I guess people didn't know what to expect. They don't know what time I'm coming on. So I put together a whole website, thespiritualanarchist.com, because somebody stole my domain, spiritualanarchist.com. So since it was my original idea and I'm spiritual anarchist, I said, okay, I'm the spiritual anarchist. And I got the domains, thespiritualanarchist.com, and I have the website put up, and I just started adding to it. So I put the first schedule up that I'm doing the announcements tonight. And so I could have put it up, that I'm going to do announcements from 9 o'clock to 9:15 or some crap. But I decided, well, I just put it 9 to 10 because I'm going to sit on here and hope I get viewers the next half an hour or so. And if I don't, if you have to go before 10 and nobody comes in, I don't know if I'm going to stay on. I'm not sure how I'm going to do announcements. I've announced it all over my website. I've announced it by Twitter. I put it on my Facebook. I don't know who's following what, so I don't know how this is going to work. Hey, what's up, Ari? So welcome to the room. Is it Ari? I'm trying to. My eyesight's been going a little bit weak lately. Is it Ari or A-Reach? Is that a J at the end? So Ari or A-Reach, what I was telling, well, it's not Zoe, it's what's going on, Nutty Meal. There's a Newt. I'm trying to get everybody's name right. I'm going to keep calling, okay, Miranda. I don't, it's like I just keep wanting to call you Zoe because that's what's next to your name. So the announcements I was making, on repeat a little bit. I'm starting to put the website together, thespiritualanarchist.com. You're from Norway? Awesome. So I'd really love getting fans from all over the world. I'm very into learning about people's cultures and things like that. Oh, Zoe's in, and Miranda's there too. So basically, it says I have 6 viewers. I actually have 7 viewers then. So anyway, I'm putting together the website, thespiritualanarchist.com, and I want all my fans to visit it. I know for a website that I'm trying to update daily, but it's really hard because it's just one person. I think the big websites that you're used to going to that have updates all over them, and it's always exciting, and it's always got information, and they're just adding page after page of blogs. I think they have 10 people working on those websites, and I'm one person. So until I get more people working on it, it's not going to be as much updating, but I'm every day I can think of something. I'm going to do what I can. I've been adding to it every day. It's just not going to get that big. Like say Sam Harris's website, there's always new information, new stuff. He's always got new books coming out. I'm a writer. I don't even have my first book out yet. So, um, I still would appreciate it if people visit my webpage, thespiritcharanarchist.com. I posted on most people's pages that I have a secret page for fans. So I'm going to actually start trying to add interesting stuff to that page, trying to get the people from YouNow to go to the secret page for fans so they'll see that I'm trying to pay you special attention. But when you go to thespiritcharanarchist.com, you should be able to get to my broadcast page, which shows you a calendar and shows you events, and it should show this event. I do want people to post on my wall. That is what's going to make this show become a show. I can get these guests. I'm going to get, like I said, I'm going to get this published writer of a book on spirituality, and she's also a physicist, and do some women empowerment and do some talk about spirituality. I also have a guy from the New Atheist Movement who's a physicist. I'm going to try and guest him on here. And everything's going to be updated on my website. So I do want people to start visiting the website, and I do want people to give me suggestions. Please post on the wall on YouNow any things that, if you see things I could improve on the website, things you'd like to see on it. If you have problems with it where you don't feel like you're getting enough information, post anything on your mind that you think can help us get this thing going. Is there a group chat for all the atheists? Do you mean a group chat on my website? Is that what you mean? Because I might figure out a way to put something up. Would y'all like a group chat, like where we're chatting like we are now, where I'm going to have to install some code and stuff? Or would it be okay if I put up a message board where everybody can go back and forth on the message board, which is, a lot easier to put together? What's going to engage you more? What's going to make you want to come to that site and start sharing your thoughts? Do you want a chat room, or would a message board work as well? I really want to get people's opinions and get people's viewpoints. A message board, good, because that's going to be a lot easier to do. It's going to look better. It's going to work easier. Chats are really hard to get done and get working, and it's hard to control. It's hard to moderate chats, which turns it into crap sometimes. But message boards, I can moderate, I can control it, I can get on my fans and we can discuss what we want to discuss and keep out the bullshit. I just got a notice for my LinkedIn account because I'm on my iPhone broadcasting to you from one of my friends on LinkedIn. I'm not sure what she just said because I'm talking to you, but that's one confirmation of a guest that I'm going to have who said she will do it, and another confirmation of somebody who said that he was considering it, said if it's not too much of a headache, meaning he wants to make sure that I'm not going to try and hold him too much. So I broke it down for him, and I said to him, whatever you want to give me, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you think you can spare. I told him we can discuss his book because he writes a lot of books. He can promote what book he wants to promote. We can discuss the book, and we can discuss what topics he wants to discuss, and I'll ask him some questions that I want to ask. So hopefully he'll respond and we'll get this going because I've talked to him for a while, and he's just as good a physicist, and I think almost as good, if not better, in some ways, a writer than Lawrence Krauss. Lawrence Krauss wrote some very good books and has done very good debates. He's more popular. This other physicist, he's written a book that, as a philosopher and somebody interested in science, I find his book a lot more interesting. What's going on, Scottish Joker? Now, if you visit thespiritcharanarchist.com, I've already put up broadcasters that I go to and I appreciate, and you're going to probably want to check out if you haven't already. Most of them are pretty big, so you probably already have. Thank you, Scottish Joker, for inviting your fans. And thank you for becoming a fan. That's awesome. So I really appreciate it because I really want to get this show going, and it's all based on the fans. I'm a writer, and writing is hard, and I could put all my energy into my book and just focus on that and just get the book published and maybe have success for it. Thank you, Zoe, for inviting your fans. This is awesome. But I decided, pretty good, Scottish Joke. I'm doing pretty good. Are Are you doing all right? Right now, we're doing a broadcast and we're discussing the new website, thespiritualanarchist.com, and basically it's almost 100% focused on my show, Spiritual Anarchist TV is what I'm going to call it, that we're doing right now. Right now, it's announcements on what's going on. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make this website interactive for you and the rest of my fans, so you can put your thoughts. We're talking about possibly putting up a message board so that all my fans can interact, because I really need the feedback. I need to know what's working, what's not working. Do you want me to do guests? Do you want more music? Do you want what do you want? I have a lot of things that I'm going to do, so I'm not going to let you tell me here's what your show's going to be. But everything you tell me, it looks like I just got a new Twitter person who's following me. Is that you, Scottish Joker, or did I just get somebody and I don't know who it is? Because you just became a fan. Oh, thank you, Scottish Joker. Yeah, and you know what? If everybody could please follow me on Twitter, because I think that part of making this show bigger so I can bring in these guests, I've already got 2 of them lined up, is, thank you, Scottish Joker, for following me on Twitter. If everybody in the room could follow me on Twitter and promote other people coming here to follow me on Twitter, I'm going to keep posting on Twitter so you'll know when my shows are coming on. I do want you to visit Spiritual Anarchist, thespiritualanarchist.com. Miranda wants a face page for it. Okay, so if you go to my Facebook page, my Facebook page is the Spiritual Anarchist. And it's also under Brian Gordon. Either way is going to get you to my Facebook page. But the Facebook with the Spiritual Anarchist has a link to my actual website. And the website is thespiritualanarchist.com. So the Facebook is cool or whatever. I'm using it to promote my webpage. But I want everybody to promote and try and get people to go onto my webpage. And I want everyone to go to the website, thespiritualanarchist.com. I got kind of like a canker, and sometimes it affects my speech. So I'm going to try and say that more clearly. Thespiritualanarchist.com. So it's basically my handle here, but I put the word "the" in front of it so I could get my domain. And you will see that you'll hopefully be able to get to it's 1 or 2 pages in where you can see my calendar where it shows where these broadcasts are. If you go to my website and it's not clear to you when the shows are on, or how to get to the pages, or where the other broadcasters are, or how my website works, I don't want to fill my page with explanations, but I'll talk in my chats about it, or my broadcast here, and I will, we're going to have a message board, and so maybe I'll put my message board on the front page. You put a link to it or something. Miranda wants a breakdown on what your name means. Okay, so here it is. If you looked at my profile on YouNow, I basically broke it down from when I first came up with the name. Basically, I used to go into chat rooms before there was YouNow, before there was YouTube, I think, and I'd have to come up with handles. And leaning towards Buddhism and Zen, I'd call myself Zen again, and I'd have some interesting conversations. But there's just a very anarchist spirit in me, wants to fight for individuality and individual people's rights and a fight against oppression, and it's a very spiritual, not political side of me. But it never occurred to me to use this name before. I would call myself atheist. I had on my website that I was a spiritual atheist, and then finally, I put up a website based on something when I had a dream, because I would go in and with atheist in my name, and I'd have different names with atheists, and I'd have people just start calling me Antichrist and arguing with me and assuming shit about me, and I got tired of it. I loved arguing, but I didn't have to explain myself every time. So I basically one time I had a dream, and it just came to me, and I don't remember the whole dream, but I remember the name Spiritual Anarchist, and so I put up a website, and it basically combines spiritual atheism with philosophical anarchism. And the reason why I separated the two is because as an atheist, I always felt the need to explore knowledge and explore wisdom. Even though I didn't like religion, I still wanted to know the truth. And if the truth wasn't 100% the way a lot of atheists see it, as long as I didn't have to go into organized religion, which I totally don't respect, as long as there was, say, shamanism, that's not religion to me, but it's spiritual. So I can say I'm without religion, even though I was learning shamanism and practicing shamanism. So shamanism to me is a form of spiritual atheism because you can be a shaman, you don't have to belong to any religion. Shamanism itself is not really a religion. Um, so that kind of breaks down an example of spiritual atheism. Um, I don't know if there are Wiccans or pagans that don't really worship the gods and goddesses. Uh, I don't know if they have atheist people, but there's a lot of different aspects of spirituality where people don't really buy into the gods aspect of it, or even the supernatural aspect of it. There's a lot of people who believe that we have a soul, that our mind has got to be more than our brain, but they don't add on to that and say, therefore this religion is true, or therefore I see ghosts, or they don't add all that shit onto it. They just say, look, I don't know if any of that's true. I might not even advocate, I might not even believe any of that's true, but I still think I'm more than my brain. I still think something is going on deeper than that. And if you think that you're more than your brain, and you think that you might have a soul, even if you don't know anything or believe anything beyond the fact that you have a soul, even if you don't believe in God or religion or any of that, you're a spiritual atheist because you've taken atheism and you're willing to explore one aspect of reality that isn't 100% materialistic. Um, Now, so as far as the philosophical anarchism, um, I studied anarchy. I was really into it. I was really into the rebellious side of it. I was against oppression and so on. But when I studied, it was all so political, so focused on most of the anarchists were communists, and I wasn't communist, and I didn't like it very much. I only liked kind of the spiritual aspects of it, but I hated the political aspects and the parts that created big, huge, oppressive governments that called themselves communists. I didn't like any of that. So I don't want to associate myself with the communist anarchists, and I found out I looked at every type of anarchist. I can't name them right now, but there's like 5 or 6 different really popular types of anarchism. And finally, I said, well, I'm already a spiritual atheist, and I believe that anarchy or anarchism can work if we approach it not from a political perspective, but from a philosophical perspective. The same way you approach ethics and morals and what's the nature of reality. Why not approach anarchy or anarchism the same way? And so that's where philosophical anarchism became a real way of looking at anarchism that is different than the communist anarchists and all the other different political views. And so I combined spiritual atheism with philosophical anarchism and created spiritual anarchist. Um, and basically, I came up with the name before I came up with the explanation. The spiritual anarchist, it came to me in a dream. And then I kept explaining myself over and over, and I wasn't very clear. And so finally, somehow I was able to figure out what the two aspects were. The spiritual and the anarchist side, it's like the yin and the yang, the feminine and the masculine aspect of the yin and the yang. The spiritual being the feminine part, and the anarchist being the masculine part. That's how I see it. And that's how I came up with the explanation. I put it on my webpage when I had Tripod, when we first started putting up websites, and then when I first put up spiritualanarchist.com, that's when I first explained, went into detail and wrote a whole essay about it, and then spiritualanarchist.com got taken from me, so that's not my website anymore. And so when I did this broadcast, I decided, well, I used to have spiritualanarchist.com, but I got tired of paying for it. But then I decided if I'm going to do this show, then I want it back. So I figured most likely nobody has it. So sure enough, I went and got it back. And now I got the website up. So does anybody have any other questions? Because I'm like talking and talking and talking. I want to pause for breath and give people time to ask questions. I was kind of, people came in here, invited some fans. I was kind of hoping, the more people that come, the more excited I get, because I just feel like I need to reach as many people as possible. Because I don't mind having 2 to 5 viewers, and but I'm not going to be able to make a show out of it. I've already cut my hours on my job, because I have a little extra money saved, and said to hell with it. My parents want me to do a better, get a different job that pays more. And I said, well, in the meantime, I can do this show. I'm going to cut my hours. So instead of working 40 hours, I'm going to work 20 hours. Zoe, you have me and Zoe, I got like half your sentence. You have me and my. Was there more to the sentence? I kind of missed. I think I know what you're trying to say, but YouNow seems to cut off sentences a lot of times. I'll type in a sentence, I don't see it, and I kind of presume the broadcaster reading it will see it. And now I'm looking at what you said, and it just says me and my. Well, you have me and my. That's all it says. I know you probably typed more than that. I'm still waiting to see if you can put your whole thought or if you have any questions. It's hard to answer a thought or a question if YouNow just puts it up as part of the sentence. Me and my sister. Yeah, I thought that's what you're saying. So you're saying that you and your sister are going to support this broadcast, invite some fans in, come to every broadcast if you have. I mean, the support I'm looking for is this. If the show is not as much as you would want, and you feel like, I really appreciate that. If you feel like you're coming in the shows and you're trying to support me, and then you come in and we're doing an hour, and you just feel like it was almost a wasted hour, just throw positive ideas at me or throw negative criticism, like what the hell, you got to do something different. I really need your input and feedback on this. I have a lot of ideas, but it's me and my viewers, and I have to establish that between me and you and your sister, and then when we bring in more fans, between them. If there's no interaction between me and my fans, I cannot just sit and talk to the camera. It's not going to make a show. You know what I mean? It's just not going to do it. I'm not trying to be a personality. If my personality or my charisma comes out as a real thing, awesome. But I'm not a personality. I'm not a persona. I can't just create this exciting, thrilling, and change my voice and I might bring in some effects and start to use this YouNow app and try and put up websites and stuff. But I'm just not all the flash and stuff. I'm trying to be me, So that means I'm going to need a lot of fan interaction if I'm going to do that. And I know a few fans have said to me, like I even had a guest spot. I don't know if this was a real person or if it was somebody working for YouNow that wanted to teach me a lesson because she guested with me, and the conversation went a little bit weird, and I basically didn't like it. And so instead of dropping her, I'm just like, what do you want to talk about? And she said, well, that's your job. You're the broadcaster. You tell me what we're talking about. Miranda suggests that you try to structure your show. Yeah, so a lot of fans have suggested that, and that's what I'm trying to work on. That's why I'm getting these guests, because I can imagine a structure for a guest spot. I can imagine how I'm going to do the interview and how it might work. But I'm kind of new to it. Okay, a linear fashion. So I'm going to put it somewhere on my website where you can go into detail, because YouNow is going to let you put one thought out there where you put a sentence out and you say, hey, try and articulate your ideas in a linear fashion. First this, then that. But you probably have like 100 thoughts in your head and you can't type them all because YouNow doesn't let you really get like paragraphs out. So I really want to put up the message board, and I really want to have it so that you can communicate and tell me all your thoughts. Like you're part of the creator of the show. Because I feel like, Zoe, you're like a big fan, and your sister, it looks like, is going to be a fan, hopefully. It sounds like it. And I think that you can help me. You can help me with the show. You can, post like ideas, not just the one sentences that YouNow let you have, but like a whole post or paragraph. And I can ask you questions, and we can try and get a structure going. We can try and get, I can tell you all the ideas I have, and you can kind of maybe make suggestions on how we could structure that and make it more linear, make it so people know what to expect. And then once I start thinking that way, yeah, awesome. So you can also post on my wall. Nobody's been posting my wall, and it almost frustrates and depresses me to not see post on my wall. And the only when I say no one posts, the only post I see is from other broadcasters, promoting their stuff, which is awesome. But I really want my fans to post on my wall, and I would really appreciate it if you'll post some stuff on the wall. But the wall doesn't really work as well as a message board is going to. So I promise you I'm going to put that message board up as quickly as I can. And please be aware I'm going to put that up, and please post as much as you can on there. Because then I can ask you questions, and we can maybe you can maybe help me get this as a structured thing. And if we can get this thing taken off where it's like huge, and hopefully I get partnered, then I'm not going to be like doing the show like, I'm doing it for fun, blah, 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 who cares? And I'm trying to entertain you, and if it doesn't work, who gives a fuck? I really don't want to be that way. Because I have to work and I have to make money, I have to pay my bills, it's tempting to be that way. And I don't want to be that way. I really want to do this show. I really want to make this into something real. Miranda suggests that you post videos on your website like YouTube videos, but not on YouTube. Yeah, a lot of people have been suggesting, well, I have YouTube, why don't I post YouTube videos? But then a lot of YouTubers were basically saying, don't use it. It's they don't monetize it for them, so they're not really making money off of it. And all the people that post on YouTube, half of them are just bullshit comments, and they just get spammed and they get flamed and just trolls and shit. So I like your ideas about videos on my website and not using YouTube. So now, I was going to get into it. When it first started, I found out about Jacqueline Glenn and all that. I loved her, and she's the one who got me into YouNow. But then when I got into YouNow, that's when everybody got away from YouTube, so it's not working. So as far as when you say videos on my website, but not YouTube, I don't know if my website has it built in, but I'm going to try and find out. Do you have ideas on how I do that? I guess I could just make a video on my computer and just load it up directly that way. It's better if you have recorded videos that clearly present ideas in a visual manner. Yeah, and it's going to come down to where I think I communicate fairly clearly. I think my fans are really ready and really want to see me do something, and they just haven't seen it yet. I'm going to have to get people who know what they're doing to help me put a YouTube-like program together for videos that I could put on my site. Because if I just got in front of a camera right now, I don't think I can make it any better than I'm doing right now, and I need to learn to do this better because I do have great ideas. What's going on, Rave? Oh, thank you, Rave. You invited all your fans. I really appreciate that. So yeah, again with the message board, I don't. Zoe, do you have any experience? What's going on, Taha? Zoe, do you have any experience putting together videos like that? I'm kind of friends with Jacqueline, but we don't know each other that well, so friends is a strong word. Outline your thoughts, okay. So do like an outline of my thoughts and then do a YouTube video based on that outline. I just whenever I see people who know how to do it, they just, you can edit videos in iMovie. So if I put a video together, I can send you a video and you would consider editing it because I could do awesome. Okay. Because I think most videos are like between 10 and 20 minutes long because people have a very short attention span. And if it goes longer, it kind of just confuses people anyway. So I could put a video together. I guess we could start out with like what's the time? What's the amount of time that people like? What if I start putting out videos? What should I start out with 10 or 15 minutes? What's the number I should aim for? If I just do it 5 minutes, I think it's going to be like I can't make a video out of 5 minutes. I don't think, but I don't want to make it an hour long. So we don't want to do 5 minutes too short, an hour is too long. What's the number we're going for? Do you think? What do you think is a 7 to 10 minutes? Yeah, that's okay. Let me get my notepad and write down some notes because I always think especially if I'm talking to someone who's like good and has good ideas like you, I'm like, there's no way I can forget this, but I forget every damn thing. So okay. So I'm just writing some stuff down, structured and outline. Whoops. Outline. Format. And then, the basic idea of having an outline format, having it linear. What's going on? Oh, how do I say your name? As if? Oh man, it's all letters. But thank you for coming to my broadcast. If you have a way you want me to say your name, I will. I just got another LinkedIn notice. So I'm hoping that, 2 of them have responded positively. I'm hoping that these other ones, that some of them have responded positively. I hope I don't get a bunch of them saying, nah, thanks for asking. I can't tell because it's coming up on my video. I get a notification saying LinkedIn has answered you. At least they're answering me. Structured outline, linear, whoops. And then you said you can edit. So I'm going to put Zoe can help me edit, and that will be awesome. Can help edit. Once we try and get these videos together, I can make some really boring structured videos that follow linear thinking and step by step and so on, and just try to get my ideas out. But I want to try and figure out a way to make the videos a little bit more interesting, exciting, the way the other YouTubers do it. I mean, I'm never bored watching Jacqueline Glenn. When I watch her videos, I'm never bored, whether I agree with her or not, or whether I think her videos are, one video is really entertaining or the other one video is not that so entertaining. I'm never bored, and I've never done this before, so I need to figure out a way. I don't want to copy people. I don't want to just sit here and make a video where I'm just talking and that's it. So I'll try and put a video together and send it to you and see what you think, and see if we can punch it up, get something. Do I still have Zoe in here? I hope. Zoe, you still in here? Because we are going back and forth on what we are doing, and I'm hoping you're still in here. Are you still in here with me, Zoe? Please, I hope. Record right after a cup of coffee. Oh my God. Look how wired I could get. My energy is like spiritual energy, and it comes from the idea that, when I start to feel things are really working and coming together, like, the fact that I'm talking to you and the fact that you're willing to help me, and that's coming together on the same day that I got these posts from the writer and the physicist where they said they'll guest with me. I just got in a discussion with my mom tonight, and she wants me to be successful, but she's very religious, and she does, it's almost like she's against me being successful in this. Like, she would like me to go get a job and just make some money at the job and maybe meet a good Christian girl at church or whatever. None of that's going to happen. I'm not trying to piss her off, and I want to do this, and she wants me to be successful, but she doesn't want me to do this. Especially she knows that I'm a spiritual anarchist, and it kind of agitates her. I don't live the agitator, but I am who I am, and it's just the way it's going to be. So, so my energy's coming from, I hate to say part of it's coming from proving her wrong, but it really is a little bit. It's just to feel that I feel I can do this, and I'm excited about this. And she lifted me up a little bit because she wants to be positive, but she's bringing me down on the actual show. And I got excited today because it just feels like things are going to come together. I just got this feeling. If I got 2 guests right away, and these are fairly well-known people, they're not super celebrities, but I have a lot of people linked on my LinkedIn, and I just feel like this is going to happen. So look up One Chem Guy on YouTube. He makes boring chemistry interesting. Yeah, okay, One Chem Guy. Give me 1 second because I don't want to forget anything that you tell me. I guess the one benefit that I don't have 500 viewers is I can eat on my broadcast because I don't have 500 people looking at me going, what is he doing? And I'm hungry as hell. Okay, One Chem Guy. Let me look this guy up. The other thing is, I guess you can help because you're doing the video editing, is I don't want my YouTube videos to be all about effects. That's ridiculous. But I don't want it to be low quality. They call it, what do they call it? Production quality. I think it's called production quality. And basically, the level of production quality means how much you've put into it, how clear the video is, that you have some graphics in it so people know what's going on. So it is called that, production quality. So that is a major thing that I would need your help with. And I'll figure out ways. I don't know how I'm going to monetize anything yet. I'll figure out ways to do that. Oh, somehow I'm on my own live chat. Hold on, let me get out. I wasn't trying to go to YouNow for my live chat. I was trying to bring up YouTube. I don't know what the heck I just did to do that. All right, let me bring up YouTube so I can bring up this person. YouTube. Pizza's cold. And this person's name is One Chem Guy. One Chem Guy. Because I really feel like I don't know if I'm going to be able to develop a persona or different personas, but I feel a little pressure that I might have to develop a mild persona that's a little bit different than me or something, or add a little bit more energy or charisma than I normally would, or just create something that isn't quite like myself and see how far I can take it. And I don't have a lot of experience in that or acting or whatever. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I'm going to watch this One Chem Guy. Okay, so I typed in One Chem Guy, and it says 216 videos, and then there's another one that says Chem Guy, which I guess is not the same person. Let me see. Oh, it is the same person. Okay, awesome. Yeah, going to be an entertainer. Oh, man, I mean, it's going to be hard for me. You know, I love the way Vegan Cheetah entertains the living hell out of people in his room, but then I don't want to I don't want to be some sort of weird copy of him. You know what I mean? You're essentially a preacher. So basically, then I should watch people who use the techniques of preachers and just find a way to do it that I'm comfortable with. That doesn't push my personality so over the top that I'm not comfortable with it, unless I'm using my sense of humor where I can exaggerate it, and I'm comfortable for 5 or 10 minutes playing around. No, 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 no. Okay, so you said I'm essentially a preacher, and that's where I got that idea. So what's your idea then? I mean, I'm not gonna I wasn't need to be engaging and informative. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't mean I was gonna be hey, what's going on, David? I didn't mean I was gonna be like a real evangelist, crazy out of the box nutball. Um, the when I was thinking about it, I was thinking about Steve Martin in a movie called Leap of Faith, and his personality, not necessarily when he's doing his preaching, but his personality through the rest of the movie, the way he is through the rest of the movie, because you can see, yeah, it's like I can get his energy from when he does the preaching, but through the rest of the movie, you can see who he really is. So he's more authentic that way. So that movie kind of gives me an inspiration for how I can maybe come out of my shell and bring a little bit of personality to it. Have you seen the movie Leap of Faith? I think is what it's called. What's going on, David? We're discussing thespiritualanarchist.com and my new website, which is going to feature all my fans. My top fans are going to be, of course, featured at the top, top of all the pages. If you could, when you get a chance, because this is going to take us some time to get this all going, um, if you have any time, I really would like you to check out that movie so you know what I'm talking about. It's called Leap of Faith, I believe. In fact, I'll look it up and make sure that's what it's called. And it's with Steve Martin. He's funny as hell. You know he's damn funny. And the only time he's over the top is when he's actually doing his his preaching. Did you have to go? Okay, you'll be back on tomorrow. All right, yeah. If you could check out that movie Leap of Faith when you get the chance, and please write on my wall and watch my website, thespiritualnix.com. So when I get the message board up, I would really like you to start posting so we can be in contact. If you have a LinkedIn account, maybe we can link that way too. But yeah, I just don't want to lose contact with you. I don't want to only be able to talk to you when we're on YouNow. So if you could just please stay in connection with me like that. And you have a good night, Zoe. And I'm going to see what time it is and see. Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock now, and that's what I said my show's going to be, so I might not stay on longer anyway.
So we go for four effective pairs, and now how about if the central atom? And it's always the central atom that we put the shaper in. If the central atom has three effective pairs, how do we get that? Okay, remember, multiple bonds can count as one, or they can do exactly the same. Watch this. That's called trigonal or trigonal planar shape. I don't care how you pronounce it. I usually say trigonal planar. Trigonal, that's fine. Whatever you want to say. Three effective pairs. Okay, now here's the thing. BF.
How's this the guy? There's no way this can be the guy. He has 200,000 subscribers and he only got 4 followers on Twitter. I don't understand. How can this be the guy? Okay, this guy's bald. Now, bald, white hair, bald. Now, is this guy the same as on YouTube? What is this doing? How's this live? Interesting. Oh, is it delayed? Okay, let's check and see if this has a delay and if I can hear it. Was it delayed? Okay, let's check and see if this has a delay. Alright, so I am live on YouTube. That's so strange. Okay, I've never even been on YouTube. Broadcasting anyway. Alright, I forgot what I was doing. Is it delayed? Let's check and see if this has. So I am live on YouTube. That's so strange. One cam. Oh boy, here we go. Alright, I need to get off this broadcast. I'm like one viewer on myself. One cam. Why don't I have one cam now? What did she say? Structure outlining in here so we can help with videos. Okay. What the hell I'm looking at here? Where? This is like showing every chemistry thing and not. What's going on, sweet dude? I don't even know if you're still in here. I just did a broadcast. I had 3 or 4 people come in and then it went dead. 0 viewers. Well, that's on me, I guess. You have 0 viewers. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You have 0 viewers. 0 viewers. Let's see if this is him.
Now look, boron is in group 3, it's an R-metal, and there's fluorine, group 7. 7 times 2 is 21 plus 3 is 24. Now here's the boron, this, in 3 dimensions. Okay, how would you actually build that with a molecular model kit? Because if you've got sticks that are actually between the carbons, how do you make 2 sticks go between them? Sometimes you don't have sticks. Sometimes you've got the springs. So now look, it's beautiful. There's 2 C's. There's 4 H's here. Yeah. So what you've got here is this. Here's that molecule of ethene right there, C2H4. And you've got a double bond between the carbons. And look at the way that this is constructed. With that double bond in here, it actually makes it flat. That's planar. Now look, how many central atoms are here? Well, usually, so far, we've always just had 1, but now there's really 2 in there. So just look at the shape around one of them. So look at this one right here. Don't look at these two hydrogens here. Just look at this carbon attached to this one in the center and these two hydrogens. Okay, watch this. Does this make sense to you? The rule is count multiple bonds as one effective pair. This carbon right here, which we're going to call the central one here, has one effective pair. That double bond is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 effective pairs around that means triangular planar shape. Cool name. And by the way, that one also has triangular planar shape around it. So there's two central atoms, both triangular planar. So what do you call it? You can call it bi-triangular planar or di-triangular planar. I don't know. But there's two triangular planars, and that's good.